Hey everyone, and welcome to GTO Charts. Today I'm just going to be bringing you a review of a game I played a while back on 25NL. Just two tables, and I'm going to review it and just see if we can work out if I played everything GTO game theory optimally. We're going to check things like pre-flop, probably in GTO Charts, and then all the post-flop stuff in GTO Wizard. So let's just start off the action. I just sat down at some tables here, and I just from memory flatted the 9-7, and I was thinking about I should check raise this, and then on the left I ended up with pocket queens. So I decided not to check raise on the right. Obviously 3-betting on the left, and then I get an instantaneous 4-bet. And let's just keep our eye on the left table, see what happens. I was thinking whether I should flat or whether I should just ship it in. I had a look at his stats, and then I just went for the ship, and he calls. I think I said run it twice. He didn't want to run it twice, and we lose the hand. And boom, we lose, which is fine. So let's check out in GTO Charts how that was played. Okay, so we were on the button, and the cutoff opened, and obviously, yes, we 3-bet our queens. That's pretty standard. Well, that's extremely standard. And then we got 4-bet. What should we do with our queens? According to this, we just shove 80% and call the other 20% of the time. So that seems perfectly fine to me. Played okay. Okay, so let's go back to the game. And I think shortly after, end up picking up, well, I flopper the nuts. Remember, straight into the session, losing a buy-in straight away. Always not pleasant, but then probably 5 hands later. On the left table again, pick up some. Yeah, as I said, I flopped the nuts. We'll have a look at that in a moment. This is pretty standard here on the left. I think I get 3-bet, and I fold, and fold. Oh no, I 3-bet on the right there. Okay, I'm going to fold. Let's have a look at that for a moment. Okay, so small blind versus big blind. I am in the big blind, and the small blind opens, and we had king 2 off. Yeah, looks like you can 3-bet that very, very small amount of the time. So not a horrendous play, but not a play you'd should be making all the time. Only looks to me like 20% of the time, I would say, if that. Actually, probably more like 15. And now back to the game. Okay, and on the left is, let's let it play out. I flopped a world, just straight with a backdoor flush and even a backdoor straight flush. I would assume I check raise this. Doesn't make any difference. Well, it brings in the 10-7 for him. just something to consider, but I don't see any reason apart from that to not keep betting. And then on this river, a nice blank river. And he calls with ace 8 off. Pretty bad from him on a number of levels. Let's have a look. Okay, so firstly, looking at GTO charts, we can see that under the gun, ace 8 off is not an open, according to that. Ace 9 is sometimes. Please note that this is like when they raise 2.2 big blinds. Then if we look over at GTO Wizard, this time we have it in as a min raising to 2. Again, it's not an open. Not even raising ace 9 off in this instance. So not a good play from him to start with. Then my call in the big blind with 7-5 suited seems perfectly, well, exactly correct. And then if we cross-reference that with our GTO charts, big blind, and the gun opens, and 7-5 suited call seems like about 95% of the time, and maybe you could 3-bet it very occasionally. Okay, so then our flop comes 8-6-4. I've already put that in, and in the big blind, what should we do with 7-5 suited? Now, interestingly enough, I just thought it's a mandatory check, but it seems like there is like almost a 50-50, according to the solver, 50-50 between donking and checking, which is interesting. And looking further into the hands themselves, meaning the other suited 7-5s, clubs, hearts, diamonds, all seem like 50% of the time, and 7-5 spades, not donking as much. Reason being, I'm sure would have something to do with the fact that there's no any sort of chance of a backdoor. Well, yeah, I'm guessing that's the reason, not sure. Okay, so, but we check. And then under the gun checks, but we're not going to, oh, sorry, he bets, and then we raise. I think he bet 50%, I'm pretty sure of that. Now, if you look here, I mean, as we saw before, he shouldn't even have the ace 8. So let's not worry too much about what he has and just worry about what we have. So he bets 50%, and then we check raise. I think to let's go back and have a look. Yeah, so we raised, he bets 2.2, which is half pot, and then we raised to 8, which seems like it's about 4 times. So, oh, 8, it's between there and there, so we don't have that choice. So let's just go with 100%. So we raise. What should we do firstly? If we have a look at that, we should that's 8-5 suited, so 7-5, we get to the there. 7-5 suited seems like it's broken up in between raising to 100% or raising to 50%. Close enough to 50-50. But we raised to 75%, so not not a horrible mistake, but not exactly like the solver would do. But so let's pick the 100% raise and under the gun called. And then the turn came. Let's have a look, go back and look. 9 of spades. It's on to us again. Now, what we should do with our range, I suppose we can look at. Up here, you look at the range, and we're checking 44% of the time, and then there's varying bet sizes. That's 0%. So 12% of the time betting, over betting, 125% pot, 75% betting. Sorry, yeah, 42% betting about 75% pot, and the rest are negligible, checking 44% of the time. With the 7-5 suited, it's a little different. We should bet, over bet 25% of the time, 3/4, 51, and then check 22. I was not thinking of checking at all. I only had my eyes on the prize, and I think we bet about 3/4 pot. Gun called. Again, none of his range or his 8 ace off is not there, and the river, the king of spades, and basically, well, again, looking at range, it's almost 50-50, but 7-5 suited, you're going all in 100% of the time. It says 99, but pretty much 100% of the time, which is what we did. And yeah, he called, which was very nice. He's 8 ace off. Okay, now over here on the right table, a little bit of action. Ace 3 of hearts, and we flop a flush draw, the nut flush draw. Never, not just any old flush draw. Okay, so let's have a look at this spot, because this is where I get a little confused. Turns are the most important spot in a hand, but it's really hard sometimes to know what to do. What I did, what I think I should do, and what solver says, going to be like 3 different things. So I can't remember what I did, but I would assume I just keep betting, and I probably bet 3/4 pot. Let's see if that's correct. Firstly, I backed it off a bit to 5 big blinds, which I don't think's quite order. And now I find myself in a very sticky situation, obviously. And I check it down and I lose. Okay, have a look at that, see how many mistakes I made. Okay, so I think the hand's pretty standard all the way up to the turn. There was no tough decisions. I bet 3rd of pot, he called. Then the turn came in 9 of diamonds. He checked, and then this is where I sort of was confused. Now, if we look at our range, we're checking 57% of the time. Overbetting 15%, and 3/4 pot about 21%. And with our actual hand, which was ace 3 suited, and more specifically ace 3 of hearts, it seems like it's either an overbet, a large bet, or a check. 61% of the time, check. Well, that's ace 3 suited, but ace 3 of hearts in particular, similar thing, checking about 50%. But probably bet sizing could have been bigger if I was going to bet according to the wizard. We bet, let's say about 3/4 pot, and the river came the 6 of diamonds, memory. We bet they called, and 6 of diamonds. They check it down again. They're checking it down with their entire range, it seems. So they check. Checking to see what the wizard tells me I should do. It seems like it's just saying either bet medium, over bet, or checking is not a preferred option about 15% of the time. But I checked it, figuring I was beaten. Wasn't going to get him off too much. There was a paired board. There's a flush out there, and he ended up having queen. So I did not bet, and I lost the hand. Just fine. Okay, so we're back here. It's me losing the hand on the right, and on the left, I flop top 2. Which I mean, I'm going to bet, and I bet about half. And he raises. Now I pause it. Pretty much thinking he's very short. I have top 2. He could have a flush draw. He could have worse ace. He's a short stacker, so he could have anything really. So I just thought best just to get it in. And he snaps it off, and he has 5-3 suited, which is yeah, whatever. I don't know how these short stackers play. I cashed out there, but obviously in hindsight I should have kept it going. I'm just not going to analyze that one. It wasn't super interesting, and he was short, so it's going to keep going. And obviously easy 3-bet calls, and I flop a set. It's amazing when you make a video how well you run. I can recommend to everyone, if you're running bad, make a video. And let's have a look at that. And I checked to him. Okay, so I intuitively checked to him, and not sure if that was the best play. It just seemed like my hand was so strong at leading. Would have got a lot of folds. Nevertheless, I checked to him, and have a look here. Our exact combination of aces. I think I've got these aces wrong. That's an ace of club. Undo that, and then clubs. Okay, changes everything. Okay, so it seems like yeah, checking a lot, especially with we had ace of hearts, ace of spades. Checking is preferred option, which is good. Which we did. We checked, and then he bet very small. Let's say, was it about? Yeah, let's go for 33%. Okay, so this is the spot where it's like, should I check raise? And the answer seems to be no, which is good. I don't think I did. Well, let's see how it plays out. Yeah, I just flattered. And then 3 of spades. And he checked back, and then ace of spades. Let's play the hand out. And then feeling like I just wanted to get all the money. I don't think he very unlikely had spades. and then he folds. Okay, so let's analyze the rest of that. Back here again and checking the aces seems to be the optimal play. Said then back to the turn, through sorry, then he bet, then I called. Turn comes through spades. It went check, check. Should he have checked? Oh. Let's close that. Should we have checked? Yep, we check again. As you can see, all the aces checking. He then checked. Then the river came, the ace of spades. Oh, stop doing that. Let's close that again. And then it was, what should we do? Happy to report it's a shove, 100% shove. So it seems like we played that hand pretty much close to perfectly as possible, which is good to know. Okay, now we are shipping it, and he folds. Okay, so how about I just try and find two more hands? I don't want to go through this entire session. I'm just going to pause and then see if I can find two more interesting hands. So playing deep is something I'm not that good at or familiar with, so this is probably a good hand to have a look at. And we'll have a look in the wizard to see what it's got to say about this. So first up, pause it there. I was in the big blind. This guy was under the gun, and he raised it to about 2.5, 2.5. And the fact I was deep, I'm not sure, I wasn't sure whether I should 3-bet these 8s or not, so I ended up flatting them, and then we got that nice sexy flop. But first let's look at the pre-flop action. Okay, so here we are in the charts, GTO charts. Notice we do have 200 big blind option in the charts. Very handy, and we were in the big blind, and under the gun opened, and we had pocket 8s. It seems like can 3-bet, but not very often. So the flat was good. See what the wizard has to say about that as well. Okay, so this is 200 big blind charts or solutions on in the GTO Wizard, and under the gun that's opened, everyone else folded, and we're in the big blind. Very similar to what we had in the GTO charts, where 8s are just calling 90% of the time, raising about 10%, raising small. I think it was probably a little bit less in our charts. But yeah, close enough. And so we did flat, and then the flop came Jack 8-7. Big blind, pretty much check 100% of his range. He did. And interesting to see. Oh, sorry, that was us. Big blind, we checked. And under the gun, let's have a look what under the gun did. Under the gun checked. Also, when we have ace of hearts, and then we lead for 4 big blinds. I feel like I'm going to do something stupid here. Well, not really. You know, pretty much got the nuts. And I went for the overbet. I was all excited, deep, hoping he'd shove. But if he did shove, would he be shoving anything worse? It's the big question. He could have jacks. He may not have jacks. He could have aces, jacks, not sure. He thought about it for a while, and I'm pretty sure he folded. Did think for a while, and no, he called. Okay, That's interesting. Ace king. Okay. All right. Let's have a look at that. Okay. So turn went check check. Then sorry, flop went check check. Turn came ace of hearts, and I led for about 75% pot, and with our pocket eights, it's probably bet or check 50% of the time. He called, and then seven of hearts river. That's where I went for our pocket eights, which have somehow disappeared. With our specific eights, spades and diamonds, betting, of course, a lot. Checking, not very much, but over betting 33% of the time, which is what I did. So yeah, I guess that was played reasonably okay also. But as I said, deep. I started to get very confused, but that's why we're here, to learn. So okay, let's look at this hand, and this will be the last one. I got 9 diamonds. In middle position, I raise it up 2.2 big blinds, and then I get 3-bet. And I called. I guess the first question is, I think I called. Let's have a look. Called. Let's see if calling was the right option. Okay, so firstly, according to my charts, I was in middle position, and 9-8 suited isn't open, but not very often, 27% of the time. And then if the small blind 3-bets you of that 27%, you flat 39% of hands you open. Just something to take note of here. This can be a little confusing, the actual size of that. It says 39, which is correct because it is 39% of, look back here, of this range, the range you opened. So just that is displaying that size. But within that, you flat 39% of hands you open, fold the rest. So that's what we did. So not horrendous. Actually good play, 39% is fine. Okay, according to GTO Wizard, 9-8 suited is a raise 100% of the time. Interesting enough, but the settings, yeah, depends on what settings you have up here, which I haven't gone into, but in this instance I'm using GGNL50 general, but yeah, it's saying 100% open, so that's fine. Did that, small blind, raise this, and gets back to us. Should we do with that 9-8 suited? It seems like calling very, very small amount with all your 9-8 suited. Obviously, they're all the same because the flop hasn't come yet. It's folding 94%. So in this instance, again, not a horrendous play, but shouldn't be calling there very often. Okay, so let's look at how the hand plays out. Okay, on the right, that's where we're looking at. The flop comes 3 of clubs, 9 of spades, 4 of spades. I expect our 3-bettor to lead. He leads for 3/4 pot. And assume I will just call that, which I did, and then we're going to 8 of spades. On the turn, let's just play the hand out. See what happens. Let's see if I make the same decision now that I would have then. He just shoved, and I snapped it off. Okay, let's pause it and have a look at that. Okay, so flop comes 9 of spades, 4 of spades, 3 of clubs, and small blind. He let into us for 3/4. And according to the wizard, if you're just looking at his range, he should have checked 65% of the time. Bet medium and bet large, or bet large 21, medium 10. A medium would say would be about what he'd bet, 3/4 pot. Okay, now let's see if our call was okay. 9/8 suited, all 9/8 suited should call. Then the 8, which we did, good to see. Look here, call 100% over here, all 9/8 suited. And our 9/8 suited was diamonds, but it doesn't matter, it's a call. Turn came 8 of spades, small blind, shoved all in with his pocket 10s, which was an interesting play. At that stage we didn't know what he had, but let's just have a look at how they think his play was. Pretty much there's no over betting. There's checking, betting, but his play was pretty. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at Jack 10 suited. Sorry. Let's get to the E10s. Betting small 98% of the time. No over betting, but he shoved. Okay, so we went all in. And what should we do? Seems like 9/8 suited is a call 100% of the time, which we did. And yeah, took it down. See it play out. Okay, I think I cashed out again. Scaredy pants, cashed out. So didn't matter, but I would have won it anyway. Yeah, okay, so I think that's it. Got enough hands out of that. Let's just, for fun, let's see what I do here. I raise it up, good to see. I try to play a raise or fold strategy most of the time. And over here, I assume I fold. Feel like I'm going to flat here. I do after I said I try and play 3-bet or fold. But okay, I'll pause it, wrap it up there. And thanks for watching. I hope you learned something out of this. And check out our GTO website where you can subscribe for 99 cents a day. And check out the charts just as a 24-hour trial. You can also get a free trial of the GTO Wizard. Just click on that and you'll also get a 10% discount. And then if you're really keen on our charts, why wouldn't you be? There's some subscription options down below there too on our main website. Also at the bottom of this video you'll find links to GTO Wizard and the 10% off, and also to GTO charts. And please subscribe if you like this channel. And good luck at the tables. Talk to you soon.